I wanted to get your thoughts on these Apple earnings. I did see you went in and raised your price target up to $320 from $310 this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, China is now going to be a tail end. I think that's what, look, the biggest thing when it comes to iPhone 17, it's almost like a surprise upgrade cycle where no one expected it would really sort of look like this from a pent up demand perspective. Because if you look at the last few, I mean, it's sort of been disappointing, right? So iPhone 17 now looks like you'll probably be 235, 240 million units, maybe 250, and when it's all said and done. And that was never in the cards for Apple. So that's clearly positive. There are services that continues to just be rock solid, mid-teen growth. But look, the main thing you're waiting for in Apple is now setting the stage, the drum roll for what's going to be the Google AI partnership. I mean, that that's really like how you get to like a $400 stock is there.
Are you impressed with how strong Apple has held up and just continued to move this year? I feel like retail doesn't look at them as innovators, right? I've got the iPhone 15 Pro and I feel fine. I don't feel any FOMO to go get a 17 or anything along those lines, but the stock continues to move up. There's been slight innovations. I think the new AirPods are great, right? The system keeps people in, but it really feels impressive, the revenue and the
I'd,
continued movement in the stock.
I'd
It's
imagine that
yeah.
Apple's the one you get the most pushback on from on X and stuff that
Yeah,
people
of
are give
course.
you the most hate
Yeah.
on.
Look, New York City cab driver has been bearish in Apple. So but look, it's 2.4 billion devices, 1.4 billion iPhones. I mean, that is the separator. Because that services business alone would be a $2 trillion company. And I think that's the thing here is that like it's one where they've been on the outside looking in AI, it's been massive disappointment, and you're still at 4 trillion. But it speaks to my view with that install base, specifically also on the consumer AI piece. That's what you're playing for now. Like if you want to like you could get to like let's say 300, 305, 310, no AI. But to get this thing to $400, it's AI.
Do
It
you
was
think they have
interesting that
to?
they actually showed. Sorry, Evan. I was going to say it was interesting that they actually showed growth numbers coming in this report yesterday. The double-digit growth coming back.
Dude, that's I mean, it's 200 bips above street. And that's why like these are ones too like knee jerk reactions and you know like the way like we like to think about things. A lot of times I think it's the street when you start to digest things, you feel better and better about the story. I could tell you like today talking to like institutional investors, this is a much different narrative for Apple than it was 3 months, 6 months, 9 months ago. Because also it's like, look, the haters hate. They try to scare everyone based on like in terms of, like demand. I mean, I just got back from Asia for what 3 weeks in Asia. The point is like it's been a significant uptick from what we've seen. Apple supply chain, and you saw it in numbers relative to their guidance. But again, the whole key with this stock, it's just like Tesla. What's going to drive it is it's AI. I mean, that's what you're holding on to here, and I'm just very bullish in terms of the setup.
Do you think? Well, this will be the last question on Apple, and there's so much other to talk about. Do you think Apple needs to change its M&A strategy and maybe make a
Of course,
large AI acquisition?
look, it's been major strategic mistakes that they've made not doing acquisition. I mean, they could have bought Perplexity. They could have bought a lot of but it's part of that DNA, like not to do deals, right? I mean, biggest one they ever done was Beats, 3 billion. But guess what? Like now they have no choice. Like Google has to be the all-in partner, and also for Google, remember 20 billion a year. That's probably gonna be 30 billion. In terms of because now the DOJ by winning DOJ, it clears the road for them to now do a deal.